Want to learn an hour of fun facts? Subscribe to Zarpado. We're starting now. Did you know that Mick Jagger almost became an economist? When he was young, Jagger won a scholarship to study at the prestigious London School of Economics, one of the world's leading universities for economics and social sciences. However, music captivated him before he graduated. While studying, he met Keith Richards and co-founded the Rolling Stones. The band's success was so rapid that he left the LSE without finishing his degree to dedicate himself fully to music. Actress Angelina Jolie used to wear a pendant with a drop of her then-husband Billy Bob Thornton's blood around her neck. This gesture was part of her more gothic and rebellious phase, generating much controversy and curiosity in the tabloids of the early 2000s. The town of Centralia in Pennsylvania has been burning underground since 1962 due to a mine fire. Smoke billows from cracks in the asphalt, and most of the population was evacuated, leaving behind a zip code that is virtually non-existent today. The century egg is a duck or chicken egg preserved in clay, ash, and lime for weeks or months. The result is a dark green yolk and a translucent brown white with a strong sulfurous taste and a creamy texture. The Dymaxion car, designed by Buckminster Fuller in 1933, was a three-wheeled vehicle that could spin on its own axis. Despite its advanced aerodynamics, a fatal crash at the Chicago World's Fair ruined its reputation and halted its funding. Fantasy coffins in Ghana are funerary caskets carved in the shapes of objects that represent the deceased life. If someone was a fisherman, they might be buried in a fish, or if they loved technology, in a giant cell phone made entirely of wood. The Taos hum is a low-frequency sound that only a small percentage of people in New Mexico can hear. The source of the noise has never been located, leading to theories ranging from secret military experiments to rare geological processes. Alice in Wonderland syndrome distorts the perception of the size of objects or one's own body. Sufferers see things as much smaller or larger than they actually are, a symptom often associated with severe migraines or epilepsy. The lyrebird is capable of mimicking almost any sound it hears, including chainsaws, car alarms, and cameras. It uses this ability during courtship to impress females, creating a chaotic mix of natural sounds and human noises. The cube houses of Rotterdam are dwellings tilted at a 45-degree angle on hexagonal pillars to optimize urban space. Living inside requires custom-made furniture and getting used to diagonal walls, representing the idea of a forest where each house is a tree. The real Annabelle doll is not made of porcelain like in the movies, but is a Raggedy Ann doll. It is kept in a blessed glass case in the Warrens Museum after being accused of moving on its own and attacking its former owners. The city of Colma, California is known as the City of Souls because its population of the deceased outnumbers the living by 1,000 to 1. It was founded as a necropolis when San Francisco prohibited burials within its city limits, transferring thousands of bodies to this place, which today houses 17 cemeteries. The Sape tradition in the Congo involves men known as sapeurs, who spend fortunes on haute couture designer suits despite living in poverty. This subculture prioritizes elegance and manners as a form of peaceful resistance and cultural pride, turning the streets of Brazzaville into a colorful catwalk. The Count of St. Germain was an 18th century European adventurer who claimed to be hundreds of years old and to possess the secret of the philosopher's stone and immortality. Many nobles believed he never ate in public and spoke multiple languages fluently, disappearing and reappearing throughout history without ever aging. The Kalani Utah 8 is an extremely aerodynamic vehicle designed by Luigi Kalani, famous for his organic and fluid forms that eliminate any right angles in the sheet metal. This prototype resembles a futuristic water droplet on wheels and was designed to break fuel efficiency records using principles of pure bionics. Steve McQueen used to request ridiculous amounts of clothing and supplies in his contracts, such as hundreds of pairs of jeans and razors, which he would then secretly donate to juvenile detention centers. No one knew about this gesture until after his death, revealing that the King of Cool used his fame to provide for underprivileged children's homes. In Alaska, akutak, or Eskimo ice cream, is traditionally made by churning seal or reindeer blubber with wild berries and sometimes flaked fish or fresh snow. This ancient recipe provided the necessary calories for hunters in extreme Arctic conditions, although today sugar and butter are more commonly used. The North American horned lizard can shoot jets of blood from its eyes to scare off coyotes and other predators. The blood contains chemicals unpleasant to canines, and the jet can travel up to 5 feet, completely surprising the attacker. The Man from Tord is an urban legend about a traveler who arrived at Tokyo Airport in 1954 carrying an authentic passport from a non-existent country called Tord. When asked to point it out on a map, he indicated Andorra, claiming his nation had 1,000 years of history before mysteriously vanishing from his room. Exploding head syndrome is a sleep disorder in which a person hears an extremely loud noise, such as a gunshot or explosion, just before falling asleep. Although painless, it causes intense panic and is believed to occur due to a massive discharge of sensory neurons as the brain attempts to shut down for rest. Singapore banned the import and sale of chewing gum in 1992 to maintain the extreme cleanliness of its streets and the smooth operation of its subway system. Violators face severe fines, and the use of therapeutic or nicotine gum is only permitted under strict medical supervision, making it one of the most famous laws in the world. In Thailand, there is the Yipeng Lantern Festival, where thousands of lanterns are released into the night sky to symbolize the release of misfortunes. This spectacle creates a magical and spiritual visual experience that attracts photographers from around the world, making it one of the most beautiful celebrations in the Buddhist calendar in the Chiang Mai region. Abraham Lincoln was an accomplished wrestler before entering politics, losing only one of the approximately 300 fights he participated in during his youth. His height and long arms gave him a tremendous technical advantage, and he was inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame for his grappling prowess and sportsmanship. Fermented whale meat, or hakkerl, is an Icelandic tradition where Greenland shark meat is buried for months to remove its natural toxins. The smell is often compared to strong cleaning products due to the ammonia, but Icelanders enjoy it with a shot of local spirit during their celebrations. The Wiesmann Roadster is a modern, handcrafted German car that features a gecko as its logo, symbolizing the car's grip on the road and corners. It combines a retro 1950s exterior design with powerful BMW engines, creating a pure analog driving experience that is rare in today's market. The immortal jellyfish, or Turritopsis dohrnii, can reverse its life cycle and revert to its juvenile polyp state after reaching full sexual maturity. This process allows it to avoid death from old age, theoretically enabling it to live forever, unless eaten by a predator or suffering from a serious illness. The placebo effect demonstrates that the brain can induce actual healing in the body simply through the belief that it is receiving effective and powerful medical treatment. Even when a patient knows they are taking a sugar pill, the brain can release chemicals that reduce pain or improve physical symptoms. The Lycurgus cup is a 4th century Roman artifact that changes color depending on the direction of the light, shifting from green to red when illuminated from within. This is because the Romans used gold and silver nanotechnology in the glass, an advanced technical knowledge that was lost and only recently rediscovered. The 1986 UFO night in Brazil involved 21 luminous objects that were detected by radar and pursued by Air Force fighter jets for several hours. The Minister of Aeronautics publicly acknowledged the events, making it one of the most documented and accepted cases of mass sightings by a sovereign government. Vikings never wore horned helmets, a myth created by 19th century opera costume designers to make them appear fiercer and more dramatic. In reality, Their helmets were smooth and practical for close combat, as horns would have been a significant tactical disadvantage, being easily grabbed. Indonesia is the world's largest archipelago, comprising over 17,500 islands, more than half of which are estimated to still lack official names. This nation boasts immense biodiversity and hundreds of different ethnic groups, making it a constant logistical and geographical challenge for the government to maintain national unity. Kintsugi is the Japanese art of repairing broken ceramics using lacquer mixed with gold powder, highlighting the cracks rather than hiding them to give them new value. The philosophy behind it is that breakage and repair are part of an object's history and should be celebrated as evidence of its resilience and imperfect beauty. The Iron Pillar of Delhi is a 5th century column that has resisted corrosion for over 1,600 years, despite being exposed to the elements and humidity. The technique of ancient Indian metalworkers created a passive protective layer that prevents rust, a technological achievement that amazes modern materials engineers. The Layat Helica was a 1919 car that didn't have a transmission to the wheels, but was instead propelled by a huge airplane propeller located at the front of the vehicle. It was extremely light and fast for its time, but also very dangerous for pedestrians, so only 30 units were manufactured before it was banned. Sea sheep, or Costacella kuroshime, are small sea slugs that can photosynthesize after eating algae, becoming sun-fed animals. This process gives them their bright green color and allows them to survive for months without eating anything else, an extremely rare ability among multicellular organisms. Head cheese isn't cheese at all, but a tureen of meat made from the head of a pig or cow, boiled until a natural gelatin forms with the collagen. It is eaten cold and sliced in many European countries, and is a traditional way of using every part of the animal after slaughter to avoid waste. Human lungs have such a vast internal surface area that, if fully extended, they would cover roughly the size of a professional singles tennis court. This design maximizes gas exchange, allowing the blood to absorb the oxygen needed to fuel the trillions of cells that make up our bodies. Glass is neither a solid nor a liquid, but an amorphous solid where the atoms are disordered like in a liquid, but trapped in a structure that doesn't flow over time. The idea that old windows are thicker at the bottom because the glass flows is a myth. It's actually due to the way the panes were manufactured by hand. Tsar Peter the Great of Russia imposed a beard tax to force his subjects to adopt a more European and modern appearance, according to Western standards. Anyone who wanted to keep their beard had to pay an annual fee and carry a copper or silver coin that served as an official receipt proving their facial hair was legal in the country. If you could put the planet Saturn in a giant bathtub full of water, it would float, because its average density is less than that of liquid water on Earth. Although it is a gas giant with spectacular rings of ice and rock, its internal composition of hydrogen and helium makes it incredibly light for its total volume. The lithium battery we use in our cell phones today was developed thanks to research that began in the 1970s to create lighter and more powerful energy sources. This advancement enabled the revolution of portable devices and electric cars, although its recycling remains one of the biggest environmental challenges of the century. In Venezuela, the Catatumbo lightning is a phenomenon where up to 280 lightning flashes per hour occur for almost 300 nights a year over the mouth of the river where it meets the lake. This natural ozone factory is so constant that it has served as a beacon for sailors since colonial times, providing an unparalleled natural light show. Don Quixote is the best-selling and most translated work of fiction in history, surpassed only by religious texts like the Bible in its reach. Miguel de Cervantes wrote much of the story while in prison, creating a character who became a universal symbol of idealistic struggle. Human teeth are the only part of the body that cannot repair itself, as tooth enamel is not living tissue and does not contain regenerative cells. For this reason, cavities must be treated by a professional dentist, and prevention is the only way to maintain healthy teeth throughout adulthood. Koala footprints are so similar to human footprints that even forensic experts have had difficulty distinguishing them at crime scenes in parts of Australia. They have ridges and loops similar to ours, a case of convergent evolution where a very different species develops a similar tactical tool for grasping. In Scotland, if someone knocks on your door asking to use your bathroom in an emergency, the ancient law of hospitality says you are obliged to let them in without question. Although it's more of a custom than a modern, enforced law, it reflects the Scottish spirit of generosity towards strangers in distress. The Dyatlov Pass incident in 1959 involved the unexplained deaths of 9 Russian hikers who fled their tent at night without proper clothing into the deadly snow. Their injuries were unusual, and some bodies showed traces of radiation, leading to theories about avalanches, secret military tests, or even Yeti attacks. Charles Lindbergh was the first to fly solo and nonstop across the Atlantic Ocean in 1927, spending 33 hours awake inside a cockpit where he could barely move. His plane, the Spirit of St. Louis, had no windshield for safety reasons, forcing him to use a periscope to see what was ahead for the entire flight. The Lighthouse of Alexandria was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, and its light, produced by a bonfire and bronze mirrors, could be seen from over 30 miles away. It guided sailors for over 1,000 years before being destroyed by earthquakes, being the ancestor of all modern maritime navigation aids. Lab-grown meat is cultivated from animal cells without the need to sacrifice any living beings, offering an ethical and ecological alternative to factory farming. This advancement uses far less water and land, and is already being sold in some countries, promising to feed a growing global population sustainably and healthily. The lighter was invented before matches, a fact that seems contradictory but is due to the fact that phosphorus chemistry was more difficult to master in a stable way. The first lighter was a dangerous hydrogen lamp from 1823, while friction matches did not appear safely until 3 years later. An astronaut's footprint on the moon could last for millions of years, as there is no wind or water to erase it through erosion, leaving it as an eternal monument to humankind's presence. Only a bombardment of micrometeorites will eventually smooth it out, but for now, Neil Armstrong's footprints remain untouched, awaiting future explorers. Burma switched from driving on the left to driving on the right overnight on the advice of a fortune teller. Despite the change, most cars still have the steering wheel on the right, making overtaking dangerous. Lena Medina is the youngest confirmed mother in history, having given birth in Peru at the age of 5 years and 7 months. Her case of precocious puberty astonished the world medical community in 1939, and the identity of the biological father was never revealed. In Sardinia, su filande is the rarest pasta in the world, made by only 3 women who know the secret technique. It involves stretching the dough into 256 ultra-thin strands that are sun-dried on wooden trays before being served in a sheep broth. The Mazda suitcase car was literally a motorized tricycle that could be folded and stored inside a regular suitcase. It was built by Mazda engineers as a creative challenge, powered by a 2-stroke engine and reaching speeds of up to 19 miles per hour. In Taiwan, strippers are hired for funerals to attract more people to the event and ensure the deceased has a joyful journey. This practice is considered a way to honor the life of the deceased, although authorities try to limit public performances. Coral Castle in Florida was built by a single man moving stone blocks that weighed several tons. Edward Leedskalnin never revealed how he did it, claiming he knew the secrets of pyramid construction and the laws of magnetism. The tree man of Indonesia suffered from a severe form of the human papillomavirus that covered his body with scabs. These growths resembled tree roots, preventing him from using his hands until he underwent multiple reconstructive surgeries. The Greenland shark is the longest living vertebrate on the planet, capable of living for over 400 years in the Arctic waters. They grow only 1 centimeter per year, and do not reach sexual maturity until they are 150 years old, leading an extremely slow life. The Bone Church in Sedlec, Czech Republic, is decorated with the skeletons of more than 4,000 real people. It includes a chandelier containing at least one bone from every part of the human body, created by a woodcarver in 1870. The Phaistos disc is a baked clay disc with spiral symbols stamped on it that no one has been able to decipher. It was found in Crete and is considered the earliest example of stamp printing in history, holding secrets of the Minoan culture. In Indonesia, the Toraja tribe lives with their deceased relatives for months or even years in their homes before holding a formal funeral. They treat the mummified bodies as if they were sick, offering them food and clothing daily until the family has saved enough money for a mass sacrifice of water buffalo. L'inconnue de la Seine was a young woman whose face became the basis for the world's most widely used CPR mannequin, known as Risushi Anne. After being found in the river, her death mask became famous for its enigmatic smile, and today it is the face most kissed in history by medical students. The Kola Super Deep borehole in Russia is the deepest man-made hole, reaching a depth of 4,230 feet below the Earth's solid crust. Engineers had to stop drilling due to temperatures of 356 degrees Fahrenheit that melted the drill bits, leading to false urban legends about hell songs recorded there. The 1939 Plymouth 6-Hour was a customized car that featured an extra engine to power a variety of musical accessories, including bagpipes and a bell. Its owner used it for parades, and the car could release bursts of smoke and confetti while playing popular tunes, making it the loudest car of its time. Lady Gaga purchased a $50,000 ghost detector to have a team of experts check every hotel and dressing room before her concerts during the Monster Ball tour. She claimed that a spirit named Ryan was haunting her, so she needed to ensure the space was free of negative energy in order to perform well. Mouse wine is a tonic drink from China and Korea, where newborn mice are submerged in rice wine and left to ferment for a year inside the bottle. It is believed to cure asthma and liver diseases, and locals drink the liquid while the mice remain at the bottom, preserved by the high alcohol content. The Antarctic icefish is the only known vertebrate that completely lacks hemoglobin in its blood, making its fluid as clear as water. It survives because the frigid waters where it lives have high levels of dissolved oxygen, which it absorbs directly through its skin and simple circulatory system. The lead boy of Brazil refers to two men found dead on a hill in 1966, wearing waterproof suits and lead masks over their closed eyes. A note read, "Wait for a signal, take a capsule," which has led to theories about UFO cults, psychedelic drug experiments, or attempts at alien contact. Pica is an eating disorder where people experience an irresistible urge to eat non-food substances, such as dirt, chalk, glue, metal, or even ashes. It is often associated with mineral deficiencies, such as iron or zinc, and can cause serious damage to the digestive system from the ingestion of toxic materials. The Principality of Monaco has the highest concentration of police officers per capita in the world, with one officer for every 70 residents. This extreme security ensures a near-zero crime rate in the land of billionaires, where surveillance cameras cover every corner of the territory to protect the country's vast wealth. In Finland, the World Wife Carrying Championship is a real sport where men race around an obstacle course carrying their wives. The prize for the winner is his wife's weight in beer, a tradition that has gained international popularity and has strict rules regarding the weight and age of the participants. Steve Jobs used to eat nothing but carrots and apples for weeks at a time, which sometimes gave his skin a noticeable orange tint due to the excess beta-carotene. His extreme diet was part of his quest for simplicity and purity, which was also reflected in the minimalist design of the products he created for his company. Swallows' nests are used in China to create a very expensive gelatinous soup made from the hardened saliva the birds use to build their nests in caves. This soup is believed to improve skin and prevent aging, so harvesters risk their lives climbing cave ceilings to obtain the white nests. The 1936 Stout Scarab is considered by many to be the first van or minivan in history, featuring a folding table and seats that could swivel backward. Its design was inspired by the fuselage of airplanes, and it didn't have a conventional chassis, offering a huge interior space unseen in other cars of the time. Death camas is a plant that looks like a wild onion, but contains a deadly toxin that can stop the heart within a few hours. Its resemblance to edible plants has caused many accidental deaths throughout history, serving as a dangerous reminder of nature's toxicity. Malignant hyperthermia is a life-threatening reaction to certain types of general anesthesia that causes body temperature to rise rapidly to levels that destroy organs. It is a hereditary genetic condition, and today there are special tests to detect it before surgery, saving thousands of lives that were previously lost. Whale candles were made in the 19th century using the blubber from the heads of sperm whales, known as spermaceti, which produced the brightest and cleanest light. This resource was so valuable that it nearly led to the extinction of these marine giants until the invention of kerosene saved the species from indiscriminate hunting. The Mothman is a Point Pleasant legend that preceded the tragic collapse of the Silver Bridge in 1967, where many claim to have seen a giant winged man. His glowing red eyes and his presence near disasters have created the myth that he is a creature who appears to warn of or foretell impending fatal catastrophes. The beer flood of London in 1814 occurred when a giant tank burst, releasing a tsunami of over 2,640,000 gallons of beer into the streets of the impoverished city. The disaster destroyed homes and caused the deaths of 8 people from drowning and collapse, making it one of the most unusual industrial accidents of the 19th century. Tuvalu derives a significant portion of its national income from its .tv internet domain, which it sells to streaming companies and video websites worldwide. This digital resource has allowed the small Pacific nation to fund basic services and pay its United Nations membership dues, turning chance into wealth. In Tierra del Fuego, the ancient Selknam practiced the Hain ritual, where young men had to confront spirits painted with geometric designs to become adults. These body paintings are iconic today for their abstract and avant-garde designs, although the culture was tragically decimated by colonization in the early 20th century. The Roman dodecagon is a mysterious bronze object with 12 flat faces and holes of varying sizes that has been found at numerous archaeological sites across Europe. Its purpose remains a mystery, with theories ranging from astronomical measuring tools to simple candlesticks or even tools for knitting perfect wool gloves. The Peugeot VLV was a small, 3-wheeled electric vehicle manufactured during World War II to circumvent gasoline rationing in France. It was primarily used by doctors and mail carriers, demonstrating that the need for efficient transportation always finds a way through innovation in times of crisis. The Australian bulldog ant has such a powerful sting that it can cause anaphylactic shock in humans within minutes if urgent medical treatment is not received. They are solitary hunters with excellent vision that can jump on their prey and bite it repeatedly, making them the most dangerous ants in the world. Michael Jackson attempted to buy the rights to Marvel Comics in the 1990s with the goal of producing and starring in a Spider-Man movie, which he would direct and star in. Although the purchase didn't go through, the King of Pop was a comic book fanatic and dreamed of bringing the heroes who now dominate the global box office to the big screen. Worm salt is a traditional Mexican condiment made with moth larvae that live in agave plants. These larvae are toasted and ground with coarse salt and hot-dried chilies. It is primarily used to accompany mezcal, enhancing the smoky flavors of the spirit and providing an earthy and complex touch that connoisseurs greatly appreciate. The Vinland map is a parchment that supposedly shows Vikings reached America long before Columbus, depicting the coast of Newfoundland with remarkable accuracy. Its authenticity is one of the fiercest debates in archaeology, as the ink contains compounds not commonly used during the official medieval period. Corneal cells are the only ones in the human body that do not receive oxygen through the blood, but rather absorb it directly from the air that surrounds us at all times. For this reason, corneas are transparent, as the presence of blood vessels would obstruct our vision, allowing light to pass through without interference. Outer space smells like charred meat, hot metal, and welding fumes, according to astronauts who have returned from spacewalks and smelled their pressure suits. This odor comes from chemical compounds called hydrocarbons that adhere to the equipment, giving us a sensory idea of what it is like to be outside our atmosphere. During World War II, the British created a phantom army of inflatable tanks and airplanes to deceive German spies about the location of the real D-Day. This deception was so effective that the Nazis kept troops away from Normandy, expecting an attack in a place where there were only rubber balloons shaped like weapons. Olympus Mons on Mars is the largest volcano in the solar system, reaching a height of about 14 miles, making it almost 3 times taller than Mount Everest on Earth. Its base is so extensive that it would cover almost the entire state of Arizona, and it is such a massive structure that its summit rises above the atmosphere of the red planet. Bluetooth is named after a 10th century Viking king named Harald Bluetooth Gormson, who was famous for unifying the scattered tribes of Denmark and Norway. The creators of the technology chose this name because the system unifies different communication devices, and the logo is a combination of Viking runes. Angel Falls in Venezuela is the world's tallest waterfall, with an uninterrupted 3,212-foot drop from the top of a tepui, or ancient table mountain. It is so high that the water often turns into a fine mist before reaching the ground, creating a mystical ecosystem that inspired the Pixar and Disney film Up. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 different publishers before a small house agreed to publish the first Harry Potter book at the urging of the headmaster's daughter. The saga became a global phenomenon that changed children's literature, proving that persistence is as important as talent in achieving success. Michelangelo's David was sculpted from a block of marble that 2 other artists had abandoned because they believed it had too many imperfections to be worked. It took Michelangelo 3 years to liberate the figure that, according to him, already lived within the stone, creating one of the most perfect masterpieces of the Italian Renaissance. The brain does not feel pain because it has no pain receptors of its own, allowing surgeons to perform brain operations while the patient is fully awake. Although the brain interprets pain signals coming from other parts of the body, it is itself insensitive to direct cuts or touches during neurosurgery. Seahorses are the only species on the planet where the male becomes pregnant and gives birth to the young after receiving the eggs from the female in a brood pouch. They can have up to 2,000 offspring at a time, and their mating dance is one of the most complex in the marine kingdom, lasting for hours while they constantly change color. The dynamite tree has fruits that, when ripe, explode with a sound similar to a gunshot, launching their seeds at speeds of up to 155 miles per hour over great distances. Its trunks are covered in sharp thorns to prevent animals from climbing, making it one of the most aggressive and dangerous plants in the rainforests. In the city of Oshawa, Canada, it is illegal to climb trees in public parks according to an old municipal ordinance that seeks to prevent injuries and protect the city's flora. Although rarely strictly enforced, the law remains in effect and surprises visitors who want to actively enjoy nature in recreational spaces. The Man from Taured is an urban legend about a traveler who arrived at a Japanese airport in 1954 with a passport from a non-existent country called Taured, located between Spain and France. When he was detained in a hotel for questioning, he vanished from a guarded room without a trace, fueling stories about travelers from other dimensions. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, but refused to have one in his own study because he felt the constant calls interrupted his creative flow. His wife and mother were deaf, which led him to study acoustics and the voice, searching for ways to aid human communication before changing the world with his wire. The Concorde was the only commercial airliner capable of flying at more than twice the speed of sound, allowing travel from London to New York in under 3.5 hours. Due to the heat generated by air friction, the plane stretched about 8 inches during flight, returning to its original size once it landed. The Titanic did not have enough lifeboats for all passengers because the laws at the time were based on the ship's tonnage, not the number of people on board. It was believed that the ship was a lifeboat itself, an overconfidence that led to the most famous and remembered maritime tragedy of the entire 20th century. Strawberries are not botanically berries, but bananas, tomatoes, and watermelons are, due to the way they develop from the ovary of a single flower. Strawberries are actually accessory fruits, where the true fruits are the tiny seeds we see on the outside, defying our everyday language. If you could eliminate the empty space between the atoms of every human being in the world, the entire population would fit inside a single small sugar cube. However, that cube would weigh millions of tons, demonstrating that we are made almost entirely of nothing, held together by invisible and powerful electromagnetic forces. In Ethiopia, the official calendar has 13 months and is 7 years behind the Gregorian calendar. This is due to differences in the calculation of the year of Jesus Christ's birth, which is why they celebrated the millennium there in 2007. Rolling Stones musician Keith Richards once confessed to snorting his own father's ashes mixed with cocaine. Although he later clarified that it was a moment of impulse, the anecdote became one of the wildest legends in rock and roll. Cuy is a traditional Andean dish where a whole guinea pig is served, fried, under a stone. It is consumed mainly in Peru and Ecuador and has a flavor similar to rabbit or chicken, having been a staple food since the Inca era. The Phantom Corsair was a 1938 prototype with such a futuristic design that it resembled a comic book villain's vehicle. It had no door handles and opened via electric buttons, but the death of its creator prevented it from reaching the production stage. The Naghole on Pentecost Island is a jump from 98-foot wooden towers with only vines tied to the ankles. It is the precursor to bungee jumping and is performed to ensure a good yam harvest and demonstrate the bravery of young people. Dean's Blue Hole is one of the deepest marine sinkholes in the world, plunging to over 656 feet. Located in the Bahamas, it is a favorite but extremely dangerous spot for freedivers. Alien hand syndrome causes one of the patient's hands to act independently without any conscious control. The hand may button clothing or even slap the person due to a disconnection between the hemispheres of the human brain. The White Temple in Thailand includes characters like Batman, Spider-Man, and Star Wars spaceships in its religious murals. Its creator designed these modern images to represent the struggle between good and evil in today's world, breaking with Buddhist tradition. The Mirror of John Dee is a black obsidian object used by Queen Elizabeth I's advisor to summon angels. Dee believed he could see the future through its dark surface, merging the science of the time with occultism and ceremonial magic. In Antarctica, there is a waterfall known as Blood Falls that pours a deep red liquid onto the white ice of Taylor Glacier. The color is not due to blood, but to an iron-rich brine that oxidizes upon contact with air, flowing from an ancient subglacial lake trapped millions of years ago beneath the ice. The world's most valuable postage stamp is the 1856 British Guiana 1 pence magenta stamp, of which only one verified copy exists to this day. It was auctioned for more than $9 million, an astronomical price for a small piece of paper due to its history of printing errors and its absolute scarcity. Aviator and businessman Howard Hughes became an extreme recluse, living in dark hotels and obsessively controlling hygiene. He demanded that his food be served on trays with dozens of layers of tissue paper, fearing bacterial contamination to the point of total paranoia. CRISPR-Cas9 technology is a molecular scissors that allows scientists to edit DNA with unprecedented precision to correct defective genes. It has revolutionized biology, offering the hope of curing genetic diseases, but it also raises serious ethical dilemmas about creating perfect designer babies. Michel Lotito, known as Monsieur Mangetout or Mr. Eat-It-All, ate an entire airplane, a Cessna 150, as well as bicycles, shopping carts, and televisions. It took him 2 years to consume the plane, cutting it into small pieces that he ingested with water and mineral oil, thanks to a stomach with walls twice as thick as normal. The skeleton of an about 11.5-foot tall giant was displayed at a London fair in 1782, purchased by a surgeon who stole it from the coffin of an Irishman named Charles Byrne. Byrne had begged that his body be buried at sea to spare anatomists, but the surgeon desecrated it, exhibiting the body to this day in museums. Queen Marie Antoinette of France had a mock pastoral village built in the gardens of Versailles, the Hameau de la Reine, to play at being a humble peasant. With her ladies-in-waiting, she pretended to milk cows and bake bread in a completely artificial and idealized environment, while the real population of France suffered from a terrible famine. Self-healing materials are polymers that can heal themselves from cracks or cuts by releasing an internal capsule filled with a chemical sealing agent. They are used in car paint, building construction, and electronic devices, extending the lifespan of objects and reducing the need for repairs. Diogenes of Sinope was a Greek philosopher who lived in a ceramic barrel in the street and criticized the Athenians for their lack of virtue and their love of comfort. When Alexander the Great offered him any wish, Diogenes asked him to move, as he was blocking the sunlight, demonstrating his disdain for wealth. The Hope Diamond is cursed, said to bring bad luck, death, and madness to anyone who possesses it, according to its history of tragic owners. Its intense blue color is due to traces of boron, and its brilliance is so intense that it emits a phosphorescent red light when exposed to ultraviolet rays. The writer Truman Capote could only write lying down, stating that the creative process required a completely horizontal position for ideas to flow uninterrupted. He rejected the traditional desk, using only a pencil and paper while smoking and drinking, creating a boudoir atmosphere that fueled his brilliant and sensitive mind. Self-cleaning cement is mixed with titanium dioxide, which reacts with sunlight to break down pollution and organic matter, keeping facades clean. It is used on modern buildings in highly polluted cities, turning concrete structures into giant air purifiers that clean the atmosphere. The astronomer Tycho Brahe died of a ruptured bladder after refusing to leave a banquet before the King of Denmark, due to a matter of protocol. He was a great observer of the stars, but his death was a tragic and absurd end for one of the most important minds in pre-telescopic astronomy of his time. The dress Marilyn Monroe wore to sing Happy Birthday to President Kennedy was so tight that it had to be sewn directly onto her body that night. It was adorned with 2,500 hand-sewn crystals and sold for nearly $5 million, a record for an item of clothing from American popular culture. King Louis XIV of France, the Sun King, was so vain about his height that he popularized the fashion of wearing high heels and giant wigs so that no one would appear taller than him. His heels were often bright red, a color reserved only for royalty, setting a trend that was copied by all the nobility of Europe at the time. 8K television has a resolution 16 times higher than Full HD television, displaying images with such a high level of detail that the human eye can barely perceive it. This technology has an impact on medicine and engineering, where visual precision is vital for diagnoses and the design of very small machine parts. Elon Musk is famous for his futuristic ideas, but also for leading a minimalist lifestyle, often sleeping on the couch at the Tesla factory. His eccentricity lies in his total obsession with work and the colonization of Mars, setting aside the luxuries of his fortune to focus solely on engineering and science. The strontium atomic clock is so precise that it wouldn't lose or gain a single second in over 15 billion years, making it older than the observable universe itself. It is used to test Einstein's theory of relativity, being the most precise tool ever created by human engineering to measure the passage of time. The magician Harry Houdini used to jump into frozen rivers and lakes in chains and handcuffs to practice his escape art and demonstrate his mastery of fear. His body was covered in cuts and tears, but he believed the pain was part of the show, pushing his escape theater to the very edge of mortality. Searle's anti-gravity device is a machine that supposedly generates an anti-gravity field using rotating magnets, but science considers it pseudoscience. Its inventor claims the machine can fly, but he has failed to demonstrate this under controlled laboratory conditions, making it an enigma of absolute free energy. In Japan, there is a rather strange snack called armpit onigiri. Young women are shaping rice balls with their armpits, inspired by a scene from a famous manga. Although it may seem unhygienic, it has become a trend, and many are trying it as if it were a cultural eccentricity. Would you dare? The strawberry moon is a phenomenon that occurs when the full moon is at its closest point to Earth. Although many believe the name comes from its pinkish color, it is actually related to the strawberry harvest season. The visual spectacle often amazes those who witness it. In Austria, you'll find the Schlossbergrutsche, or the Slide Graz, the tallest underground water slide in the world. With a 210-foot drop and a 558-foot descent, it's the perfect attraction for adrenaline junkies. It's not just a ride, but an extreme underground experience. When cars wrapped in vinyl are exposed to intense heat, a curious effect occurs. Air bubbles form beneath the surface. This is because the material expands at high temperatures. The result is cars that look like inflatables on wheels. Cuban Eric Hernandez achieved an impressive world record in ball control. He kept the ball in play for over 3 hours without dropping it, while seated and with extra weight on his ankles. His skill and stamina have made him a legend in freestyle football. Manette Bailey, a 102-year-old woman, decided to celebrate her birthday in an unusual way, by skydiving. From 6,890 feet, she broke records as the oldest person to do so in the UK. Her bravery inspired thousands around the world. The stones we see on railway tracks serve a vital function. They are called railway ballast and are used to absorb vibrations, keep the tracks aligned, and allow water drainage. Without them, the rails would warp under the weight of the trains. Olympic medals are not what they seem at first glance. Gold medals, for example, actually contain more silver than gold and only have a coating of the precious metal. Silver medals are almost pure, while bronze medals are made of copper mixed with other metals. Beer bottles are usually made of dark glass for a practical reason. This color protects the liquid from sunlight, which can alter the flavor by causing a chemical reaction with the hops. Thanks to this, the drink retains its freshness and aroma. Italian artist Michele Volpi has become famous for his tattoos inspired by geometry, science, and biology. His designs range from physical formulas to atomic diagrams. What might seem strange on paper becomes authentic works of art on skin. In Beijing, a university surprised its new students by sending them admission letters made of carbon fiber. This material is as thin as it is flexible, yet incredibly strong. In fact, it can be used to cut fruit like a knife. In China, a Doberman named Xiaopai went viral thanks to his modeling skills. His photos captivated millions with his elegance and intense gaze. The dog posed so naturally that he looked like a professional model. Chen Xiaoqing broke a very particular Guinness World Record, rotating a cell phone on his finger 320 times in 1 minute. His feat not only surprised everyone, but also became a challenge for those who wanted to imitate him. Would you dare to try it? A company called BirdBuddy created a smart bird feeder. This device not only feeds birds but also photographs and identifies them using artificial intelligence. Users can even name their feathered visitors. Chinese makeup artist Sakura Lucy surprised everyone by transforming her grandfather into youthful anime characters. With her makeup techniques, she made him unrecognizable. No one would believe that behind those images is a 66-year-old man. Veterinarian Chloe Booding uses an Apple Watch in an unusual way to measure the heart rate of lions. She places the device on the tongue of the sedated animal and obtains data that would otherwise be impossible to obtain. It's a creative trick to save lives. Shooting Star Vodka is a unique spirit made with fragments of a meteorite found in 1977. Only a little over 4,000 bottles were produced, sold at high prices. Its flavor is described as smooth, with a special mineral note. A coffin-shaped car attracted attention for its unusual design. With large wheels, vertical exhaust pipes, and striking lights, it looks like something out of a movie. More than a practical vehicle, it's an extravagant work of art on wheels. Arshia Goswami, a 9-year-old Indian girl, has been nicknamed the Hercules Girl. At such a young age, she can already lift more than 165 pounds, twice her own weight. Her discipline and strength have made her a weightlifting star. The company OSET unveiled an unusual security camera. Instead of just recording, it shoots paintballs to mark intruders. With night vision and artificial intelligence, it promises to be a highly effective deterrent. In Japan, a company created a transparent bag designed to carry live fish called katsugiyo. With an oxygenation system and a viewing window, some use it as an accessory and others as a way to transport fresh sashimi, a curious and controversial idea. In Bali, a former Boeing airplane has been transformed into a luxury hotel. With 2 bedrooms and breathtaking ocean views, it offers a unique experience. Staying there costs several $1,000s per night, making it an exclusive destination. A choir called the Drunken Men performs video game songs a cappella. From Mario Brothers to Halo, their versions are so creative they've gone viral. They also allow anyone to use their recordings freely. In Nagoya, a Japanese bar became famous for offering customers a peculiar service, a slap before their meal. What seems strange actually attracts curious crowds. For many, the experience is part of the bar's appeal. A Japanese factory surprised everyone by launching banana-shaped hammers. What started as a joke ended up becoming a real product for sale. Now anyone can hammer a nail with a tool that looks like fruit. A car made entirely of wire was also manufactured in Japan. It was created as a demonstration of skill at a technology convention. Although not roadworthy, it's considered a masterpiece of handcrafted engineering. The world's deepest hotel is located in Wales, 1,375 feet underground. Built in a former mine, it offers subterranean rooms and dining areas. Getting there requires traversing steep tunnels, making the stay quite an adventure. In Pakistan, hairdresser Shafqat Rajput went viral for an unusual method. He cuts hair by setting fire to his clients' heads. With mysterious powders and liquids, he manages to shape the hairstyle as the flames burn. His technique has left many speechless. In North Carolina, there's a unique natural phenomenon: bees that produce purple honey. Its color seems straight out of a cartoon, but it's completely real. It's said to be sweeter than traditional honey and has subtle fruity notes. The Night of the Radishes in Oaxaca, Mexico, is one of the world's most peculiar festivals. Every December 23rd, locals gather in the Zocalo to admire sculptures carved from giant radishes. Flower growers showcase their artistic talent by creating amazing figures. Dishes like banh mi and Vietnamese noodle bowls became food truck stars in the 2010s. A baguette-like bread inherited from French colonization, but filled with marinated pork, cilantro, pickles, and bold sauces, or enormous bowls where fresh herbs, spiced broth, and grilled meat mingle. The appeal lies in the fact that they are inexpensive, photogenic, and customizable. To portray June Carter Cash in Walk the Line, Reese Witherspoon didn't just act. She sang all the songs herself and spent months learning to play instruments and imitate the real June stage mannerisms. This obsessive work earned her an Oscar in 2006 and resulted in one of the few musical biopics where the lead duo, with Joaquin Phoenix as Johnny Cash, sounds and behaves like a real band, not like dubbed actors. The Big Island of Hawaii literally keeps growing because the Kilauea volcano has been sending lava into the ocean for decades. Its 2018 eruptions opened dozens of fissures, destroyed thousands of homes, and created new deltas of solidified lava upon contact with water, adding land to the island's map. The Salt Cathedral of Zipaquira is literally a church carved 591 feet underground, inside a salt mine. In 2007, after a national vote, the Colombian Congress declared it the first wonder of Colombia, and today it receives around 600,000 visitors a year, who walk through tunnels illuminated in blue and violet light until they reach a gigantic ship carved from salt rock, with crosses and sculptures that seem otherworldly. Glass frogs from the Centrolinidae family became famous because their bellies are so transparent that, if you look at them from below, you can see their beating heart, liver, and intestines as if they were a living anatomical model. Some species even play with their own blood. When they rest, they hide their red blood cells in special organs to become less visible to predators, a trick that intrigues biologists who study camouflage and circulation. The Atacama Desert in Chile is so dry and extreme that NASA uses it as a testing ground for missions to Mars. Projects like ARADS have sent rovers equipped with drills and life detection equipment to practice drilling into the subsurface and analyzing samples for biological traces, just as will be done on the Red Planet. If an instrument works in the saline, ultra-dry, UV-damaged soil of the Atacama Desert, it has a good chance of working on Mars. The 2007 film No Country for Old Men is famous for what it almost lacks: music and dialogue. There are entire chase scenes and tense moments in complete silence, and yet it won Oscars for Best Picture, Director, Adapted Screenplay, and Supporting Actor for Javier Bardem for his portrayal of the assassin with the impossible hairstyle. The TESS mission, launched in 2018, is dedicated to observing minute variations in brightness across millions of stars to detect planets passing in front of them. By mid-2025, TESS had already generated thousands of candidates and helped confirm hundreds of exoplanets, contributing to a catalog that exceeded 6,000 known worlds outside our solar system, from gas giants to potentially temperate rocky planets. The South American giant otter, which can measure over 5.6 feet in length, was so heavily hunted for its fur in the 20th century that its populations collapsed. Today it is listed as endangered, and although commercial hunting has decreased, it remains threatened by riverbank destruction, pollution of Amazonian rivers, and competition for fish with human fisheries. The Qatar National Museum, inaugurated in Doha in 2019, resembles a mineral flower that has bloomed in the middle of the desert. Jean Nouvel designed it inspired by desert roses, gypsum crystals that form naturally in the region. The building is made up of interlocking discs that surround a central courtyard and tells the story of the country from its Bedouin origins to the age of gas and skyscrapers. Vietnamese coffee with condensed milk, called Cà Phê Sua Ja, first conquered the corners of Hanoi and Saigon, and then specialty coffee shops around the world. It is prepared by letting the very strong coffee drip slowly over condensed milk and ice, creating a sweet and bitter explosion that has become emblematic of a country that is now the world's second largest coffee exporter. Bouvet Island is so remote that it's known as the most isolated island in the world, an ice-covered volcanic fragment in the middle of the South Atlantic, some 994 to 1,056 miles from Antarctica, and more than 1,243 miles from any inhabited place. Norway uses it as a nature reserve and a base for scientific instrumentation. And that's all, folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more awesome facts.